So just go. Click the little icon. Okay, so we have the first rib here, and we have rib 2 underneath it, right? So this is first rib, this is second rib. Okay, so we were saying, as Tabitha correctly pointed out, I actually had the wrong, color, blue and blue just would not work, would it? Okay, so the anterior scalene goes from C1.
Well, C3.
C3. I was saying, Tabitha correctly mentioned that I started at C1. It's actually C3. So it goes C1.
What?
C3, doggone. C3 to the first rib. It makes a triangle, right? These are the triangles.
It's the top of C3, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so C3 to C6 and rib 1. Now, the middle scalene goes from C2 to C7. And it's going to go here. Okay, it goes here, and it comes here also. And I'm going to actually, when I go here, it's going to come here, and it's going to go behind the anterior scalene. So I'm going to do a dotted line because it's behind it, right? So that's the middle scalene. So this is going to be.
It goes from C2, right?
Top of C2. Yep, top of C2 to C6.
I can't write middle either. Golly.
To your first rib or second?
First rib. So this is the middle scalene. Okay, so that's the anterior middle scalene. Okay, and then you can see now the posterior scalene is the one that's furthest back, and it goes to the second rib, but it goes from C4 to C6, right? But it goes to the second rib, so it goes here, C4 to C6. And it actually comes behind here, right? And comes up here, like that.
So it goes across the first rib?
No, it goes underneath.
And you can feel it?
Oh, okay.
The second rib you can feel it?
You can't feel it attaching to the second because it's attaching from behind, right? But the second rib is going to be right here, right underneath your clavicle. This is your second rib, but it comes here and it goes to here. So C4 to C6 to the second rib here. So you're not going to feel it really attaching. You're not going to be able to feel it attaching to your second rib, but you can feel it here. These are all your scalenes coming on the side of your neck here. Those are all scalenes.
Okay, so posterior, where are we pointing, like more so like here? Or?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get one or the other. You're going to say anterior, if you know the anterior, middle, and posterior scalenes, you're going to say they're right here, whether it's anterior, middle, or posterior. Right?
Oh, okay, so just we'll say
It's gonna
whichever
be
three
here.
it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like
But you're not going to go way up here because this is sternocleidomastoid,
Okay.
right? This is a sternocleidomastoid, but the scalenes are here. And actually, to get to the anterior scalene, you'd have to actually cut this muscle, cut your sternocleidomastoid, flip it up, and then the anterior scalene is going to be, you'll see it there.
So it's
So they're like
deep to
Yeah, they're
the-
deep to the sternocleidomastoid.
Okay.
So they're like midways between the ear and the shoulder, like midways.
Yeah,
or-
they're like right here.
Here.
They're right here. Okay, so because you have two, you can see here that they have two different actions. We can move either from the origin to the insertion or from the insertion to the origin. So if the transverse processes are fixed, right, then the origin is going to be moving to the insertion.
You said
No,
transverse
sorry.
pro-
If the transverse processes, if the transverse processes of the vertebrae are fixed, right,
Meaning not like straight.
like they're
Not moving.
they're moving,
Oh, they are.
like they're not, yeah, like they're not
Not
moving.
moving, okay, not moving.
If they're fixed, right, then the insertion on the first or the second rib is going to be moving, so it's gonna move your chest up, right? So if the transverse process is fixed, then it elevates the rib cage for respiration. Okay, because my neck isn't moving, right? So when these muscles pull, then it's gonna pull my chest up, like this, for respiration, right, to breathe in. That's why they're called an accessory breathing muscle. We use these muscles when we start doing deep breathing, right, when we're exercising. Now, if the ribs are fixed, then the origin is going to be moving towards insertion. And so that's going to cause, it's gonna rotate to the opposite side of contraction, right? So look, if my muscle's here and it contracts, right, my ribs are fixed, so now my transverse processes can move. So if it contracts, it's gonna pull my head into rotation to the opposite side. This muscle contracts, it pulls my head, my right scalenes contract, it's gonna pull my head to the left. If my left scalenes contract, then it's gonna pull my head, rotate my head to the right. Okay, that's what it means by opposite side, when contraction causes rotation to the opposite side, right? Okay. And then laterally flexes to the contracted side. That means if my right scalenes contract, it's going to cause lateral flexion to the same side of contraction. Okay, to the contracted side. So I'm going to laterally flex my head to the right. If my left scalenes contract, then my head is going to laterally flex to my left. That's what that means. Okay? And then lastly, when they both contract bilaterally, meaning both contract at the same time, if both contract at the same time, it's going to pull my head down, right? Does that make sense to everybody?
That's only if your ribs are still, they're not moving.
Yes, if my ribs are still and not moving. So, when my right side contracts, it's going to cause rotation to my left side, or it's going to cause lateral flexion to my right. If both of them contract, then it's going to pull my head down into flexion. That's if my ribs are fixed, right? If they're not moving.
Like basically sitting still.
Yes. So the nerve is going to be the ventral rami that innervate the scalenes.
Where is it inserted? Like not insert, but like the nerve. Can you show us on Gene that nerve where it runs?
Yeah, remember the ventral rami split, so the spinal nerve splits between the dorsal rami and the ventral rami. So it has the dorsal rami innervate the muscles back here and the skin back here. The ventral rami comes forward and innervates the muscles in the skin here around this part, the front part, before they become an actual name. So the ventral rami is just the spinal nerve as it's coming out forward.
So it comes out of that hole on
Out
the
of
C1.
these, yeah, out of these holes in between the vertebrae right there. Out of those holes right there. Each one, okay?
that way, and then the dorsal is the back.
Yeah, so the ventral ray might come out and go forward, the dorsal ray might come out of the same hole and go backward. They go dorsally.